This is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster, reporting on October 4th, 2015. I put together a thing 2 days ago about some of the movie reviews, behind the scenes stuff, and there's about an episode's worth of the stuff that was from the other thing, the stuff from the other thing, and the movie reviews, and there was almost another episode of outtakes behind the scenes, so I'm going to be including that as well. Yes. Yeah. So, just recently, a couple of days ago, at the same time we were doing the production, there was apparently another terrorist, crazy person in Oregon who shot a bunch of students. Not going to give his name because he wanted to be famous, so we're not giving his name. So you're not putting your name out. No relation. We didn't know the school or anything, but there was a shooting. 10 people were killed, I guess was, and 7 or so more injured. And he was apparently after Christians, and he was just kind of crazy. He's basically crazy. He was claiming he was I guess, some sort of devil guy or something, but he was just crazy. Yeah, it's interesting that the right-wing guys call mentally ill people who, like, at Fort Ord or something, or other places that fit their idea of terrorist. They call them terrorists, but they call this guy mentally ill because he was apparently not fitting their ethnic idea of things. And yeah, he was also a terrorist. I think he's also one. Yeah, or mentally disturbed, or both. The Fort Hood guy, for instance, was a domestic terrorist, but he wanted to join the bad guys. He wanted to join another guy. There was another Fort Hood guy after that guy, copycatting him. And there was an attempt in California as well of somebody else. But they stopped him. So, yeah. I guess going to other things. Let's see. Oh, yeah, internet popularity and whack jobs. Yeah, there are, of course, many people on the internet that have issues. I don't want to rip everybody on the internet that's got issues. Just saying there are people on the internet with issues. I've gone over internet etiquette and stuff like that before, dressed up as a character and stuff like that. I thought, let's go over to the internet etiquette and explain to people that are socially odd. I'm also socially odd. that certain things that people say and do on the internet are not necessarily what happens in the world, right? Yeah, so yeah, blogging on the internet and putting your foot in your mouth or something, that kind of thing. But yeah, that does not make everyone evil, and it's like some of the neocon people, some of the right wing, and some of the left too, on the far left. Some of them are like, oh my gosh, maybe we should just ban this or that, and not have restrict the rights of people to go on that and stuff, and that would be freedom of speech and freedom of expression, and those are in the Constitution. They should be allowed to print what they want to, as long as it's not hate speech. There's a difference. Hate speech and freedom of speech are different. Now, they're bordering on hate speech on some of these conservative channels, and vice versa on the other ones. And in order for them to get around that, they call people socialist instead of communist, because they get in trouble if they use that other word. So, and stuff like that, to use those phrases. Fascist, ooh, or whatever. No fascists here. We're just kid about it, but we're not. We're definitely capitalist. Definitely on this house, this set, everything is completely. Go to the store and buy stuff, and consumerism. Yeah, big time. Completely capitalist, completely Republican, Democrat, capitalist. Yeah, we'd be Ferengi if we were on Star Trek, running around. Oh, I need to buy this item. Oh, Um, so yeah, the Kal Kat show is definitely capitalist. Um, and so also they get a lot of these people on the net that are imbalanced and they want to feel important, so they do crazy stuff like publish a crazy blog or do crazy things or join a cult or not or they or they write weird things about their obsessions and they go bonkers. Some of them do bad things. Doesn't mean all of them do, and they shouldn't be all black and white and say it's all got to go because of one or two bad seeds in the bush, in the ground. It's sort of like that immigration mess thing, which they'll never solve, or the tax mess, which they'll never solve, or the abortion issue, which they'll never solve, because those issues are hot button issues that you can't just say this one person is the thing that makes the whole thing bad. This one company is the one thing that makes the whole thing bad, because that's not true. It's like, okay, you have one or two immigrant murders in California, and you say, oh my gosh, they must all be. No, of course not. That one or two people, yeah, they're bad. They did something bad. They got arrested. But yeah, or the the other stuff. We've gone over this. And it's like, okay, well, they have this terrorist in Oregon that did bad things. Want to become famous. We're not mentioning his name. He's not going to be famous. But it's like, yeah, fame doesn't necessarily, wanting to be famous, doesn't necessarily lead to homicidal tendencies. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't lead to crazy people. Some crazy people just happen to also want that. And when you take acting classes, acting school, and Dave Chappelle mentioned this in an interview. Dave Chappelle's a famous comedian. He went to acting school, and his acting teacher asked him, "Okay, what do you want to be?" And he said, "Well, I don't know, but it said something about wanting to be funny or something." And the teacher said, "Good answer, because usually they say I want to be famous." Some of the students in the room said they want to be famous. He goes, that's not the right answer. If you're going to acting school, you don't want to be famous. Going back to the acting classes in the church, to have the next generation experience the wonders of the Kal Kat. But of course, the Kal Kat show is not mentioned on the church group thing because it is clearly not. It's not bad. It's just that it's clearly not touting a hyper Christian angle, which they like over there at the church group, and yeah, saying how they so it's not doing that. So the Kal Kat show is not famous for religious beliefs and political beliefs. It kind of leaves those out. It's interesting because then I've had comments on occasion from atheists that freak out and go, oh, and just on occasion a Christian will freak out. Oh, what is he? I can't explain it. And it's just that we don't mention it. We prefer to not mention it. We prefer to just explore the thing from a. It's almost progressive, but not secular. Like a Christian progressive. More so than the actual church is. So we don't go into that. The Kal Kat show is very friendly toward other groups, ethnicities, and whatnot, and apparently LGBT friendly as well, and advocated the gay marriage thing that happened, and said that was cool. That was a good deal for them. So yeah, so that would be something that the proper group would say. No, why did you say that? Oh, but it's like, and the irony there is, yeah, drama class, yeah, yeah. They can't argue against that idea because there are a lot of people. Come on, it's obvious. There are a lot of people in art and drama who happen to be gay, and that's perfectly all right. It's 2015. I am not, but they happen to be, and that's just fine. So, if they want to do that, that's fine. It's like 2015. That's a political hot button issue that I'm sure will come up in the elections several months from now when they actually have them. All these other things they're doing now are not really anything. There's 15 candidates on the Republican side and 3 on the Democrat side. These 15 vying for like this thing and one of the 3 Democrats is Hillary, of course. But now Carly Fiorina has lied about the tapes of that she's had, so she's also making up stuff about tapes, other tapes. But she can deny it and say no. Well, no, I didn't know tapes. But yeah, Hillary had the server and stuff on it. But if she's a secretary, she keeps the secrets. She's kept the secrets. The secretary of being very English major there. Yeah, okay, that might be a little messed up. But yeah, so it's like I don't know what this tape's about, except that internet fame doesn't necessarily breed insanity. Okay, weird maybe, but not insanity. So it should not be banned. People can still be famous. You might wonder, how famous is the Kal Kat show? Well, I looked it up on the in the internet, and apparently, in terms of hits on Google and YouTube, the Kal Kat name and show and channel gets looked up during a given month 4,000 times. 4,000 hits across the web. 4,000 at some point, which is interesting. People look for something Kal Kat, something on location cat, and they look for my channel. I have currently only 12 official subscribers, but probably 80 some subscriptions. Yeah, so you guys can like and subscribe to my channel and improve that. That would be awesome. Just the fact that there are starting to get comments from people for the first time is really cool. I would say that actually, currently, the Kal Kat show, I also looked up my nieces, but not my nephews, because I know Philip's. I looked up my niece's channel as well. And hers has about less than 1,000 because she had only three or four videos. They're all concerts. And they haven't gone, other than people are clicking on the video because it's a video of a famous celebrity, there's no content from her. So it's not technically a way to get famous because there's no content of her. Now, over at her brother's channel, my nephew, the little brother, this is the Sap Kids. They have, he has more views because he actually has content. And also some other content. So, tricking, skating, BMXing, tricking videos. So, yeah, he has more content than her and is more popular. Yep. And neither of them are going to become super internet famous either. There's no illusions about whether the Kal Kat show becomes famous or not. However, it seems that our most popular videos are the song parodies. The goofy ones. Goofier the better. They seem to like those. They're not viral yet, but they're getting up there. And it hasn't just been me clicking on it. People are actually like, so the content is real, basically. So yeah, it's not staged. Now, if you get a channel that suddenly has 1 million right away, then it's like, okay, they've got a connection somewhere. And I understand that LA Beast was complaining. People thought that he was a Pepsi executive spokesperson because honestly, they figured, he must be because he's doing the Crystal Pepsi thing. But that isn't it. He's a spokesman for some other studio or company because he's got so many hits and so many views and so many likes. He is actually for something. Just doesn't want to say what it is. I don't know what it is. So yeah, it's for something. It's not Pepsi. Although he does want the Crystal Pepsi. Actually, I remember Crystal Pepsi. It's not that good. But when it comes out, I will drink one on there. So it is coming back. So, yeah, Shoe Nice is another one that has a lot of hits. But he doesn't use an algorithm either. Yeah, his is. See, you can tell the real ones because you see the subscriptions and the subscribers. Now, when you look at LA Beast's channel, he has a lot of subscribers, and that's not subscriptions; that's subscribers. He's got a lot, thousands, tens of thousands, maybe even 500,000 or something. Shoe Nice is about 500,000 or something. But these gamer guys, they have more than that. Some of these gamer guys got almost 1 million. There's a typical gamer and the gaming most and Quibble Cobb and some of those guys, they have almost 1 million. Some of them have, I think, typical gamers 1 million. I think Hike the Gamer has 1 million. These are game sites. They play games and then they narrate the game they're playing. We won't do that necessarily because we're not set up to do that. Probably do another song. Just gotta think of one. We haven't done a lot of song parodies recently because we have been listening to the newer pop songs, but they're just not cool enough. We wanted to do something that was like different. The last two, you know, I got Katy Perry and Nicki Minaj and some of these new guys, semi-new guys, and some of the new rap groups and stuff. And it's like the stuff's just not funny enough to spoof. Some of it's clowny so much so that you can't spoof it. It's just weird. So we didn't. So we just haven't done it. We're not going to do any Nicki Minaj songs. Just because it's, you know, it's not there. You know, if a story's inspiring you, then you don't do it, right? But yeah. Although I did do a bootleg thingy of the Lord of the Rings, Hobbit movies. Cut them down. I'm not putting that online because it has, of course, actual footage, but just for my own watching enjoyment, like I did for Transformers. You're not going to see that, but yeah. Other people have done that, so you can go look that up. Yeah. So when the Chimera thing comes out, it will also have its own music and background and all that, so that it doesn't get any copyright notices. So, yes, the Kal Kat show is not famous yet. However, if you type in the name, it comes up 1,000 times out there, and that's awesome. Yeah, so we've actually, it's been pretty tame on the show. I mean, we haven't done anything that was like, oh my gosh, oh, it's going to be offensive, too many naming names or something, or too many political views or anything. But for some reason, and I can't quite figure it out, except maybe because she's kind of political, my closest sister, who was literally closest, nearby and everything, she doesn't do her own videos even though she has a channel. It's like, well, if she wants to be interviewed, I guess because of work and stuff, clients know who she was. But under a pseudonym like Kal Kat, they don't know it's me. It's like, I'm like Kal Kat, they don't believe me. So she could use a pseudonym and be her, and then she could have all kinds of goofy videos and crazy stuff going on. Because then she did it at SAP Productions. That was her idea. Her and the kids did that years ago and launched that. And Weird Girl 775 was that. What begat the Kal Kat show. So, in this very studio and downstairs. So yeah, it's funny that in the background there are Transformers. Because I pulled them out of storage to play with them. Yes. Capitalism. Lots of toys. Must collect toys. Yes. So yes, the Lord of the Rings. Yes, and yes, The Martian was considerably better than Prometheus. And so yeah, because Ridley Scott was apparently on point with that one. And I got into a discussion with one of the drama tech director guys about the VeggieTales, which was a Christian cartoon series that apparently failed because, well, the creator of the cartoon said it was because of his pride. Got in the way, and there was this lady telling me about pride and stuff and whatever. But the actual story is that it lost money the last couple of years that it was out. Nobody was watching it. And this was definitely part of the kids say it was pride, I guess, if you want to. But it was money. I remember seeing the 2 films in the theater. There was the VeggieTales Jonah movie, and there was the Pirates one. And by the last movie they aired, and the last tapes they aired, in the last movie, there was nobody in the... I was the only one in the theater. So it was tanking. It was like, come on. Like, nobody's watching this. Thinking. It's Winston Churchill who said, if we don't learn from history, we are doomed to repeat it. And the Fox people are following the rules of the fascist edict, one of the fascist edicts, from a book called Mein Kampf, which is German for my head, and Hitler read it. And one of the tenets in that book, apparently, is that if you say a lie long enough, people will believe it. That is the case with this video thing about the Planned Parenthood. They kept saying that lie over and over again to the point that Congress and the Senate kind of believed it. That would be kind of bad. Yeah. They shouldn't believe that. They should be all like, hey, this is unbelievable. It's too weird to be true. Therefore, it is too weird. It's not true. It's also, they should listen to what P.T. Barnum said, there's a sucker born every minute. Or, it's too good to be true, it probably is. And that's an old edict from Chicago. It's too good to be true, it probably is. Anyway, so yeah, like and subscribe to the Kal Kat Show. And yeah, don't listen to the tenets of Mein Kampf from 80 years ago. That's probably not a good idea. In Germany, because we're in America. I mean, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to adopt a socialist book, fascist book, on the subject of that? Well, the neocons, I think the problem with them is that they want to go back to the way it was in the 50s when everybody was oppressed, and everybody listened to the man, and everybody did what the man said. And it's like, we're not going back to the 50s. You have let the genie out of the bottle to make a coin a phrase, to steal a phrase from somewhere else. And now that you've let the genie out of the bottle, there is no going back. And once they had the revolution, the glorious revolutions of the feminist movement and the gay rights movement and all the way back to the civil rights movement, you've let that out of. It's not going back. They're free, and they're not going back. And that lady who get visited by the Pope for not doing her job, that's not biblical neither. Because there's a lady that decided not to give out the gay marriage licenses, and it's like, I'm not going to give her the name either. Because why give her credit? She was not reading the Bible correctly. It does not say that you should not do your job because God said so. No, God did not tell you to not do your job. Give Rome's taxes unto Caesar, give Caesar's stuff to Caesar, and give your Lord treasures in heaven. So basically that's like they're saying, do your job and pay your taxes to Rome. Do your job and, don't be seditious against Rome, or in this case, America. Do your job and do it correctly. And there's treasure in heaven later. But don't do that, and that would be, you wouldn't necessarily get it. So there you go. That's why that doesn't work. They ain't gonna hire me in the government? Are you kidding? After these Kal Kat videos, they're gonna be all like, wait a second. He's talking too much sense. We're gonna have to not hire him. Anyway, this is the Kal Kat. The Kal Kat Show.